And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. If you guys are new to us here on Amazon.com, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button to stay connected with our programming here 6 days a week. You'll see it either here in this corner or down below. We're excited about today's guest. Guy Nardulli is making his first appearance on our platform to talk to us not only about his acting journey, but also the year that's been 2024, and it's been a pretty good year for Guy. We'll get into that, let you guys know how to stay connected with him, as well as what's coming up. We are simulcasting our broadcast. We welcome those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and on Instagram. I'll be monitoring the chat on you guys' side as well. If you guys have any questions or comments for Guy, make sure you guys put them in there. And, of course, we'll let you guys know how to stay connected with him as well. Guy, thank you again for stopping by. Really appreciate it.
Oh, man, so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this for a while. We've tried to set this up like a month or so ago, and it's been, it's been time coming, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, look, you've been quite busy, so I'm excited about the time with you. So why don't we just begin there, Guy? I was just saying to you before we went live here, you've had quite the year. What has it been like for you to kind of reflect on the year that's been 2024 and all the great things that have been coming your way?
You know what? My football number was number 24, so I figured 2024 was going to be a good year. 24 has always been my number. But yeah, I've been fortunate and blessed, excited about what this year brought for me, man. It's been between Tulsa King, the film projects that I've been working on, just life in general. I made a move back to Chicago to be, close to my family again. 2024 has been an amazing year. And I think it built to that from the pandemic to what we're at now, the shift and, the seismic change that happened. It's been fun, and I've been blessed with it. So
Love that. And I think a lot of people can relate to that as well, Guy, because, I think as we kind of look at where we are now, the fact that you've been able to take advantage of opportunities, be a part of some great projects. You mentioned Tulsa King, we'll get more into that. But what really impressed me when I was prepping for your segment, though, guys, something that I have really kind of prided myself on, and that is the work. No one can say that you have not done the work. Do you feel like 2024 is a year where the work really showed itself and really proved itself when it comes to where you are now?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been doing this for 20 plus years, and 2024, it culminated. Everything came together this year. I finally got seen, and it's the process, I relate things to athletics. You got to go to practice every day. You don't play a game every day, but you got to go to practice every day, right? And you got to work hard, and the harder that you work, the outcome is going to be what the work that you put into it. And I know that 2024, all the hard work I put in my past came together this year. It really did. I did, again, lucky, blessed, fortunate that I've gotten the work that I've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it has a lot to do with the practice.
Yeah. And I think, too, I've noticed in other interviews you've done is that you talk about the enjoyment that you found in the work, too. And I think for a lot of people, they don't really see the work as what is preparing them for the greatness ahead of them, right? Is that something that you think kind of helped you on your journey, Guy, to know that all the hard work that you were doing would pay off for itself in time?
Absolutely. If you don't enjoy what you do on a daily basis, stop doing it. You need to stop. What is it? There's a quote. I don't want to misquote it or say it wrong, but if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
And 20 years ago, when I stepped in front of the camera for the first time, I fell in love with it. There was nothing else I could see myself doing, and I didn't know what I was doing 20 years ago. So I had to put in the hard work. I had to put in the time. I had to put in the grind, right? I had to, dig my heels in and work. But I loved every minute of it. I loved dissecting the script. I loved learning new characters. I loved taking myself, Guy, out of a certain situation and bringing in, if I worked on, Streetcar Named Desire, and it was Tennessee Williams, and I had to bring in Stanley, to life. I loved putting on that skin. And it was weird, right? It was just a weird feeling for me to fall in love with something as much as I did when I was playing football. I loved it. I could do it every day. I loved it.
Yeah.
That ended. Acting happened, and I love it. I truly love it. I got a true passion of love for the art, for the craft.
And it shows. And as you mentioned, now you're being recognized for that. William McCreary, hello to you. I see you over there on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us. Over on IG, Herschel Dixon, hello to you. Melvina Gray, hello to you as well. We're speaking today with our guest, Guy Nardulli. He's making his first appearance here on the Amazon platform with us, but we are simulcasting for you guys on social media, talking about his year, but also his career. I want to get into the acting for a second. We're going to get to Tulsa King, but I think what led up to Tulsa King, the thing that what fascinated me so much, and I'm curious as to how this played into the love, is that you've been able to play different types of characters. Is that one thing that keeps it fun for you, Guy? That because a lot of people, I've interviewed actors all the time, and they talk about the danger of being typecasted, right? Is that part of the fun for you, that you do get to play different types of characters? You were just saying to slip into different types of skin.
Oh, yeah, no. That makes it even much more interesting. I mean, I was lucky. I got to play Batman in a movie called The Clown Prince. Like, I got to play like a superhero, playing Johnny the Zip on Tulsa King. I played a police officer, on Criminal Minds. I've been on, General Hospital. So I put on different skins, and it's like a new thing every day. It's a new toy. It's Christmas morning every day for me. It's like a new toy that I get to play with every day. But there is something to be said, and Joe Pesci said it years ago, about being typecast. There's a key word in typecast. It's called cast. Like, if you want to typecast me as a mob guy for the rest of my career, hey, man, I got work, and that's fine with me.
Yeah.
But that's what makes this fun, though, is just having that conversation, going into that. But yeah, it's been a joy to be able to do different things. It's been a joy to get up on a stage and play a part that I would never, ever, 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 ever get cast for initially for anything else. I played Hamlet, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Right. And it was one of the most difficult roles I've ever done in my career. Like, Shakespeare is no joke. And I did it. I could say that I did it. And the grueling aspect of working on it would have made me quit if I didn't love it. I'm not going to lie to you, because it was that difficult to do, but I loved it so much. And the challenge to take on that type of character was just absorbed in me. I loved every aspect of it. So yeah, to answer your question, the ability to play different skins makes it that much more enjoyable.
Yeah. I want to go back to that Pesci quote. I've never heard that before, but I think it goes so well. Of course, for your profession, but I think for anyone in my profession or for our audience out there, Guy, for theirs as well. And that to me leads to another thing: appreciation. Talk to us about how appreciation has helped you through those difficult times. You mentioned the pandemic, and of course, so much has happened. You mentioned, of course, in another interview I watched as I was prepping for your segment with us. You mentioned about, of course, the strikes you guys went through. So there was that. Is that appreciation what kind of has sustained you even through those difficult times?
I won an award in high school for being there's a perseverance award, and it stuck with me throughout my career and everything that I've done, from athletics to restaurants to now in the acting industry. If you can't persevere through something, it's going to be difficult to make it. Like, there's hard times, right? And we as a community, as a country, as a world, 2020 was beyond difficult, right? The pandemic shut us all down.
Right.
So we had to find what we loved and what was our true passion, and really hang on to that, right? Some people created, an Etsy account, and they started making like their little art design things, right? Some people got into art. Some people got into creating music. Some people got into doing podcasts. Like, all of that happened, right? Because there was nothing else for you to do. You had to find that true passion. So that triggered it. Then a couple of years later, we went on strike, and it's like, okay, what are we doing? What am I doing? Am I making the right choice? And to persevere through the hard times, I think helps overall the scheme of life, because if you can endure the toughest moments, the sweet moments that come from it, you relish in it, right? You're so appreciative of what you can get from it. I've always been a humble kid. Growing up, I may seem like I got like this, pat on my back, just doing it all the time, ego kind of move, but it's not. I'm really humble about my upbringing and how I was led to where I'm at. Football wise, I had a career. Restaurant wise, I had a career. Acting wise, I have a career. But without the people behind me, pushing me, supporting me, my family, my friends, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So you got to appreciate every moment. And then you got to appreciate the fact that there's certain people that dream and wish to do what we are doing right now.
Yeah.
Right? They dream and they wish, and maybe they don't have the opportunity to do it. Maybe they don't have the setup. They don't have the means. They just, there's something that they don't have to do what we're doing, but they would want to be in our seat. So you got to appreciate that, right? And you got to appreciate the fact that I have a roof over my head, that I got, a great family, that people support me. That helps. And it helps so much to advance your career, because you know that there's people there supporting you.
Exactly. Such a great point and so well said. Thank you so much for that. Guy, I want to say for those who are just tuning in, welcome. You're watching Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. Guy Nardulli is our guest for this segment. You guys know him as an actor, and he'll play some great roles, including Tulsa King. We're about to get more into that for those of you who've been waiting on that part of the chat. A lot of you guys are coming over here on IG. So hello to you, Athens Shrug. Good to be able to see you. Miss Prissy Parker, hello to you over on IG. Bobby Green, hello to you. I see you guys also over there on YouTube. If you guys have any questions or comments for God, put those on the chat. I'm moderating those for us today. So let's get into Tulsa King, but you also said something I want to hopefully come back to that I thought was such a really good point for our audience when you mentioned those that are behind you, Guy. But talk to us about Tulsa King and the impact that's been able to have on your career.
Tulsa King, again, 20 years in the business. Tulsa King has been the largest role I've gotten, the most visible role I've gotten, and it's the most fun I'm having. And it's maybe because I get to work with my childhood, idol with Stallone, Terrence Winters, Taylor Sheridan, these great, amazing creators and writers, the cast that I'm with. But playing Johnny the Zip, it just kind of fell into me. I grew up, Little Italy, Italian American here in Chicago. So I kind of fell into like the mob aspect of it all.
Yeah.
But the show is amazing. I think it might be the number one stream show in the world right now. I know it was number 2 for a minute. It could be the number 1 stream show in the world. But man, it's been a ride. And like I don't even know where to start and how to wrap my head around it, because I'm still relishing in the first day that I went to work. Like I still remember my first episode on the show and how much fun that was and how much of a child I was. I'm a grown man and I still act like a kid, and I love it. I love every aspect of it.
Right. And you said something again, the perfect tie-in then, Guy, to what I wanted to ask you about, because you mentioned Stallone, which is such a recognizable name. But even when people think about him, all the projects he's done, there are some people who are always rediscovering him or being introduced to him a new way. Do you feel like Tulsa King kind of was that reintroduction for people, even though we've talked about earlier in this conversation, 20 plus years in the business, yet for some people, you are making your grand introduction with this?
Yeah, no. For myself, absolutely. For Sly, I don't want to overly speak for him, but it totally reintroduced him to a whole new audience.
Yeah.
When he started, God, 40, 50, almost 50 years ago? No, 40 some years ago. Like, he's been in the business a long time. The Lords of Flatbush, right? He played Stanley in Lords of Flatbush. He played a thug guy, Henry Winkler. They were like these street guys. And then he had to get discovered, right? He had to reinvent himself. So he wrote Rocky, reinvented himself, did Rambo, reinvented himself through the years. And then he wanted to get into comedy. So he did Oscar, right? He did like a little mob tie Oscar comedy-esque, throw him out from the train. And then he had to, he wanted to be seen as a serious actor. So he did Copland, and he put on all this weight and he played a whole different role. Like, he wasn't like the superhero or, the major action hero, but he was definitely the lead of the movie, but he changed himself and got rediscovered.
Right.
Now he's 78 years old, and he put on Dwight Manfredi of Tulsa King, put on this whole new persona. Like, I don't think he plays this role 30 years ago, honestly.
Yeah. Right.
30 years ago, he was so, Tango and Cash, still had Rockies going, still had the Rambos going. He was the action guy. Like he was the go-to action guy. Now he's playing this character, still has some action in there, right, for him, but he's got this comedic value, this likable value. He's playing a character that's, in the world of the mob world, on the underbelly of things, but he's likable, right? And he's never not been likable. He's always been likable. But this character that he's playing, way different than anything else that he's ever played in his career. And the newer audience is seeing him doing it, and they're appreciating it. Anyway, I think we just got nominated for an Emmy that I just saw. So
yeah,
the man is constantly reinventing himself, and I think that's important as an actor overall. To not get caught up into something that you've done in the past, is to constantly reinventing yourself and keeping yourself fresh.
Right. And you mentioned earlier, a guy, about the people behind you. And what I thought about when you said that was, I think that has to be part of the cool thing of doing what you love too, to have people behind you supporting you, but also, as you were just talking, you could see the admiration you have for Stallone. Also, to be working with people that you have such admiration for. Talk to us about that experience. What it's like for you to not only to be so passionate, Guy, but also to be around people that are equally as passionate about acting.
Oh, God, my circle of friends went from, like, I had a huge circle of friends in Chicago, which I still do. I'm not going to knock that, but I got really small when I got to LA.
Yeah.
And it was done purposely because I needed to get around people that knew what I was going through, right? To go through the struggle together, right? And that support cast that you have helps move things forward because it's a team effort now. I'm on the show Tulsa King. The rest of my group, that my acting friends or my core group in LA, know it's there, it's doable, right? So you become supportive in that sense. It's a team effort now. Like, oh, he made it, I can make it. He made it, I can make it. Let's support. What do you need help with? Do you need a couch to crash on if I'm, going to Atlanta to film, or yada, 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 right? So that's important. Family to me is the most important thing, because without my family support, I don't think I'm at where I'm at. And my mother, my father, my sisters, my cousins, like I'm close. I'm a strong, core Italian family, and we're really close, and it's constant support. No one ever doubted it. No one ever was like, some family members were like, well, what are you doing? That's crazy. It's a big risk, but it was never, oh, you're being foolish for doing it. That's just so idiotic. What do you it's a dream. They're like, no, go get it. And they supported it throughout the whole process. So I always had a blanket to fall on.
Yeah.
I was always covered. And I think that's really important. Anything that you do, like find that strong support, and it'll help you. It'll help you a lot.
So true. You have a fan of yours joining us on YouTube. Hello to you, Tom, of New Theory Podcast. Says, love Guy. Glad you can join us over there at New Theory. Enjoy your podcast as well. I saw you over there on YouTube. Philip Boyd, another fellow actor. I had a chance to meet Philip in Los Angeles. I interviewed him for our program there. Philip is joining us over on IG as well.
Really?
Yeah. So I know you can't tell us too much, but I have to ask you before we wrap up here, what should we be on the lookout for from Guy, or what are you excited about you could tell us about?
We just wrapped a film called Dirty Hands. It's an action thriller starring myself, Patrick Muldoon, Kevin Internato, Michael Beach, and Denise Richards. We're getting everything finally together. Hopefully, if everything comes according to the best plan, it'll be out next October. It's a great story about two brothers who foul up a little drug deal, and then they get caught up and they have to make life decisions really quickly, and they mess around with the wrong group. And I was excited about working on that. There's another movie, Death on the Brandywine, that I'll be filming in February in Delaware that I'm looking forward to do.
Nice.
So it's 2024 has led into a nice 2025. So I got a few things on the fire right now that I'm excited about.
Well, God, this has been great having you on. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know it's been a crazy busy schedule for you. Congratulations on all the success, of course, with Tulsa King, but everything that has led you here. And I know there's going to be some exciting things coming up. Again, everyone, Guy Nardulli has been our guest. Guy, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you to kind of keep up with the updates?
Well, pretty simple. On the Instagram, it's Guy Nardulli 24. You can find me there. On Facebook, it's Guy M Nardulli, the middle initial. I have another one that it's Guy Nardulli, but I don't really check that one as often. But those are the two places you can catch me on. It's not Twitter anymore. I think it's X, and it's Guy 24 on that. If you see the common theme, it is 24.
And we did tag you on X too. So for those watching the live broadcast there or the replay, they'll see that we tagged you there too. I really do appreciate this. Looking forward to our next chat together, man.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me here. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment here on Cyrus Webb Presents on Amazon Live. Again, if you guys are new to us on the Amazon platform, make sure you guys hit the follow button either here in this corner or down below, just like you would do on YouTube. But we have programming here 6 days a week, conversations like this with Guy, so that you don't miss out on anything. For you guys who are watching on social media, the replay will be available in the respective places that you're watching. So if you came in late, don't worry. You can always catch the replay there. Until next time, I'm Cyrus Webb saying thank you so much for being with us. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.